Okay, so I was watching this video on YouTube from Neutrality Studies. This video is about this guy called Dr. Pascal Lotas. Not quite sure if that's the correct pronunciation. But anyway, he talks about this famous, or I should say infamous piece in the New York Times that was published some weeks ago about the Ukraine war. I think he does a very, very good job at analyzing what this piece is all about. So as he explains, on the one hand, it is a propaganda piece. It's clearly Western propaganda. It basically justifies everything that the United States and their allies have done regarding the Ukraine war. But on the other hand, it's also an admission to something that previously was considered a conspiracy theory, something that many of us have known for since the war began, or maybe even before that, something that many of us have talked about, something that many of us have pointed towards. And that is that this is not really a war between Russia and Ukraine. It is much more a war between Russia and the United States and their allies who have been using Ukraine as a proxy to fight Russia. So not too long ago, we've had Marco Rubio actually admitting that it is in fact a proxy war. So the Americans have been using Ukraine, the land of Ukraine, as the battlefield, and they've been using Ukrainian people, Ukrainian men, Ukrainian forces to fight the Russians. So this is not a war based on Vladimir Putin having a bad hair day or something like that, and out of frustration decided to invade Ukraine, or trying to re-establish the USSR or some nonsense like that. No, this has been planned for years, for decades even, by the West. They've been steadily building up the Ukrainian army with the purpose of fighting Russians. Now, for many of us, it seems very, very obvious that NATO has been provoking Russia into some kind of response. Well, Russia has responded, and here we are. Now, according to this article, during this war, everything was managed from Wiesbaden in Germany. So that's where the command center of the West was. But everything was the Americans. So all the planning, all the decisions, all the commanding, all the intelligence, everything was done by the Americans. It's just that they didn't want to get their hands dirty. That's what they've been using the Ukrainians for. I mean, several American officials have said that, yes, we're going to fight until the last Ukrainian. I hope that people understand how foul, how horrible that is. So you have some kind of beef with Russia, but you're not actually going to do anything about it. You're going to use Ukrainians to do that for you. In fact, it was America, according to this article, it was the American government that was pushing Ukraine to lower the conscription age to 18 years old. That's practically children. Several American officials have also said how much they care about the Ukrainian people. Sure, you care so much that you want their children to fight and die in your war. That's how much the American government cares about the Ukrainian people. But anyway, this video and also the article, of course, give us some very interesting information about the involvement of the West in this war. Western mainstream media for years now have been doing their best to try to have us believe that the West had nothing to do with this. It was only when Russia invaded Ukraine when the West started to assist Ukraine because it was unjust, it was a sovereign country and all of that. Well, this video sheds some light on the real story. So very interesting, go check it out. I will leave a link in the description to this video, also to the article, of course. So go check it out for yourself. For some of us, it's probably going to be a confirmation of what they already knew, but for some it might also be an eye-opener. So go check it out and let me know what you think about all of this.